Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis here, and this is the last arrival of Xur before Witch Queen launches, so let's take a look. Alright, the weapon this week is a must-own. When you get the Catalyst rocking, this is honestly one of the most fun bows for ad clearing, and we also know anti-barrier champions are going to be taken down by scouts or bows, so get this bow if you don't have it, it's just too good and too fun. Alright, for the hunters, we have the Graviton Forfeit. Void 3.0 is about to happen. Invisibility is going to be a thing that's very frequent for hunters, so I highly suggest buying this so you have a copy for your hunter. It also increases the duration of any invisibility effects, so Void 3.0, just take it even farther. While you are invisible, your melee recharges faster, your weapons reload faster, and your recovery is greatly increased. And also, it's a stat roll with decent mobility for a hunter. It's got 11 in recovery, some intellect, some strength, nothing wasted on resilience. Buy this if you are a hunter, if you don't have one first, and then check the stat roll, pretty good distribution as well. Kind of a must-own for hunters going into Void 3.0. For the Titan, we've got Citan's Ramparts. While the exotic is cool, you can put up a barricade which you can shoot through, which is really good in high-level PvP typically. Unfortunately, the stats on this one completely suck. High strength, you know, it's fine for a Titan. You got decent resilience as this is based around a barricade, but 7 recovery, no discipline, no intellect. Honestly, if you don't own this exotic, buy it just so you have it, so you can experiment with it. But this is a trash roll, not one you would probably ever keep over basically any other roll. So if you don't have it, buy it. So you have a copy. That is the only reason to buy this one, though. For the Warlocks, you've got the Astrocyte Verse. Blink further and more frequently. So if you are a person who enjoys Blink for a Warlock, I would pick this up for sure, just so you can experiment with Blink. Weapon readies quickly out of Blink, and radar remains up while you blink. Also, for mobility, you kind of get a little extra towards that mobility. The resilience is not really that helpful, but if you're good on recovery on your other pieces, it's not so bad. You got some decent spikes on this one, though, with strength and discipline helping that ability recharge. Mobility going to help that jump a little bit. Resilience, I would love to see that in recovery, but still overall a 66 stat roll. This is pretty solid. If you don't have a great one, this is a very good roll that you don't want to skip on. You can make up for recovery with all your other pieces and still be fine. Alright, for your weapons, most of them are pretty skippable. You've got full auto, which you can get by a mod now. You've got quick draw Dragonfly, which is fine, but nothing amazing. Field prep on a Wishbringer, okay. Triple tap on a sniper, not bad for DPS, but hipfire, basically a wasted slot. You've got field prep, which is not bad for reserves and swashbuckler, but the thermoplastic or mini grenades is not exactly a god roll. And then you've got field prep and moving target here on Stars and Shadow. I mean, moving target with a little bit of range here and small bore, it wouldn't be a bad one to have, but the field prep just doesn't do a bunch for me, but you can use that for fast reloads. The big one to go for is going to be pulse monitor and timed payload. You've got tactical mag, you can get some more range on this one if you want it, but basically timed payload on a hand cannon, very good for breaking champions, whichever type of champion the hand cannon needs, because the timed payload counts as a multiple hit. So something like an overload, you only need to shoot it twice and they're stunned, as opposed to 3 different trigger pulls. So if you don't have a timed payload or explosive rounds hand cannon, pick this one up, tuck it in the vault in case we need hand cannons for a PvE situation. For the Titan army, you can skip the 59s. 62 is no recovery, which you do want some of that. And a 60 here, nothing really too exciting for the Titans. All right, for the Warlocks, you do have a couple decent ones at least. You got a 63 stat roll with a decent spike in discipline and some mobility. Might want to throw a recovery mod on there, but overall at least a decent stat roll, not too much wasted on discipline. And I say wasted relatively. You need a little bit, but it's not that important of a stat. 59, way too much. A same thing here, a 61, still way too much on resilience for this class. But here you've got 63 and a 23 in recovery. These are almost like worth buying because you got decent for your ability to recharge on strength, some discipline, decent intellect, big boost in recovery. While you don't have much mobility, that recovery is massive for Warlocks. So very good boots, okay gloves. Now let's check the Hunter. All right, Hunters, you can pretty much build an entire set if you wanted to. It's not all perfect, but it's all pretty good. Gloves are great. 61, nice spikes in mobility, recovery, discipline, strength, very good there. A chest with 63, a lot in recovery, a lot in intellect. While it's low in mobility, put a mod on there and you're honestly rocking pretty well. 63 on the helm, little high in resilience, but you always need a little bit. Decent in intellect if you're going into that build. Would like to see some of these changed up a little bit, but 63 is a decent total. And 66 on these boots. Mobility, recovery, intellect, strength. Like, these are, you could build an entire set on a Hunter if you logged in right now and be decent for your first day of Witch Queen. So, Hunters, I would definitely say you win the armor battle for sure. Final thing I want to tell everybody is if you're going to be playing this weekend, pick up the Xenology quest and complete the levels that you need to. It's 21 strikes or Crucible matches or whatever else you got to do. So if you're playing Iron Banner, if you do any higher level Nightfalls, basically any of those playlist activities, and have this sitting here waiting. Basically, it would be an exotic cipher that's waiting to basically turn in when Xur arrives. That way, if you've got an exotic cipher ready, and then you've got the quest ready, and for some reason he sells the god roll for Hawkmoon and Deadman's Tale, you can be good to go. But especially if you do not have an exotic cipher, make sure you get this done this weekend so you have one for the first time Xur comes back in Witch Queen. Well, that's pretty much everything Xur has. Decent hand cannon. Hunters have some amazing armor to pick from. Couple decent ones for the Warlock. And exotics up there. You probably should own all of them if you don't, even though the Titan one is a really, really sad stat roll. So thank you guys. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like below. Leave a comment if you got questions or anything that you want to shout out I may have missed. You can find me streaming over on twitch.tv/Ebontis. I will be streaming next to 24 hours when Witch Queen launches, so find me over there. Also posting a ton of content here, so for the 75% of you that are not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, hit that alert bell. It's a nice way to support me for nothing. And if you want to go a little farther, you can join the channel as a member or find me on my Patreon below. Thank you for all of you who support me as a channel member or a Patreon. Have a good one. I'll see you guys in Witch Queen.